Hello everyone and welcome to Platinum Life Gaming. I'm the Mad Gamer and today we have a special one for you. My Death Stranding 2 Platinum experience. I could not wait for this one to release. I loved the first game so much. We have a total of 55 trophies to collect in this one and all but 2 can be earned offline. However, this game is at its peak when played online and you should be connected at all times to really experience this masterpiece. Platinum time is said to be between 70 and 100 hours. I don't go off these very much because at times they expect you to race through, focusing on trophies and using a guide. For me, this is a completely blind run as I wanted zero spoilers whatsoever. In this game, the lost spirits of the dead have started crossing over from the other side, which is known as the beach. These entities are called beached things, or BTs. And when they come in contact with the living, it results in a void out, which is a devastating, pure and instant annihilation, leaving only a massive crater in its wake. The Death Stranding was expediting humanity's extinction. This game is a 3 out of 10 platinum difficulty, and starts out with Norman Reedus, who is our main protagonist Sam Porter Bridges, heading home with his bridge baby, whose name is Lou. A BB, or bridge baby, have a connection to the beach and are able to sense the presence of BTs. It's been 11 months since the first game ended, and right away the graphics absolutely blew me away. I was so impressed. The movement mechanics, the feeling of the controls, they were all top notch. This just looks incredible. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps this channel and your support means everything to me. Coming upon this rushing river, I placed a ladder down to help me safely cross it, and for placing my first structure, we also popped our first trophy. Hey, my first structure! Look at us go. We'll have this platinum in no time. Once at home and all domesticated, Fragile shows up to let us know that the chiral network has been further expanded, allowing her to finally track us down. She offers Sam a way to smooth things over with the UCA, using her new company Drawbridge that has been hired by the UCA to extend the chiral network south. Drawbridge needs a porter with dooms to carry out this task. Dooms allow people to see BTs and in turn avoid voidouts. And as we know from the first game, Sam has dooms. Fragile also informs us that Deadman, our old friend, is working in a lab in southern Mexico and that lab is in trouble due to a massive spike in chiralium levels near it. Chiralium is a form of matter that originated on the beach, meaning where we have chiralium, we have BTs. Leaving Lou at home with Fragile babysitting, we head out to link Mexico to the chiral network. Being able to set routes was new, and I was able to keep this guideline in sight as I started my trek to the first facility. Finding a weapon and some chiral crystals, this game was easing me in with a comforting and familiar feeling, and at the same time I was charged with excitement for another masterpiece. A story so wild and emotional, unfolding so elegantly, full of moments both shocking and heartbreaking, the way only Kojima can tell it. While crossing over the border from the UCA into Mexico, we get our first taste of combat. With bandits roaming around, I went full stealth on the first guy, using the Maser handgun to render him unconscious. Looting a mule post box, which is just a storage locker in an enemy base, I found some lost cargo, which we can return to the facility and boost our connection level with that facility. This is very beneficial because I found out later on that we would have to max out our reputation at every facility for a trophy. Unfortunately, I was seen by the next bandit as I was sneaking around, narrowly avoiding getting wrecked by that shock charge from the thrown high voltage rod. I got my sprint on and ran away as I was outnumbered and outarmed. Arriving at our first facility, we make sure to keep our balance with our ever-growing collection of packages and equipment that's on our back, because if we fall, the packages take damage. Don't fall now, we made all this way. Once inside the facility, we can deliver all packages postmarked to this location, and we will receive a porter grade based on the quality of the package and other requirements. As it is with most facilities, once you complete your first delivery, they will let you bring them on to the chiral network. Using our Cupid to connect for the first time, we got the trophy starting point. And finally, for how we did during the delivery, we get a porter grade. It's so good. Inside the private room at the facility, I had a good laugh at the dust on Sam's face from his recent travels. Checking the notification that just popped up, we received our next trophy. A first glimpse of the SSS. That social media platform is called the Social Strand Service, and for liking our first post, we earned the trophy. It's like that. Send a like for the first time. Once connected to a facility, you can do a lot of things from the main terminal, important ones like fabricating items, or claiming materials from the facility that it has on hand. There's a shared locker that we can get packages that other players have left. As well, we can take on new orders. In our case here, the only order is a main order, which is how we progress the main story forward. The true beauty in this game and why you want to be online at all times is that it is a single player game and you never see other people. You don't have to deal with server lag, you don't have to deal with players doing things you don't like in your game. However, when you place down signs and structures or even resources, other players can see those in their game, and same as you can see their structures in yours. As Kojima said, this game is all about connectivity, and here we can see another player's sign, and we can send that player a like. A quick reminder of what timefall will do to the cargo if we are not careful. And on our way to the next destination, we have to pass through a bandit camp, and I got my first beat down. All of my cargo stolen while I was unconscious and left in a garbage dump. You see, everybody is left unconscious and not killed because killing somebody would cause a void out, and nobody wants that. Come on, Sam, get up. Oh, I'm knocked out. Stealing my stuff back from the mule post box, I decided to steal the bandit's vehicle and continue on to connect to the next location. This is where we are reminded about still baby syndrome. Fetuses stop growing in the womb at 7 months but stay alive. After linking up our Cupid and connecting to this facility, they gave us new blueprint items that we can fabricate. Before picking up our next main order, we learn about aid requests. Other players, facilities, and even the NPC-controlled porters will put out aid requests that we can complete to assist them.
A new feature has been made available for use.
Let's go get some beloved walking sticks. It was at this time I noticed I had no boots on. Why has he got socks on? Where's his boots, man? Are we carrying boots? I think the bandits took them off me when they dumped me in the woods and I never put them back on. Well, good thing we drove here. I'm driving in my socks, that's fine. It turns out it was actually my fault. I unequipped them back at the last mule postbox by accident. Chalk it up to a learning curve and it won't happen again. Recovering the 4 walking sticks and returning them, we popped the trophy. Helping people to connect. Complete an aid request for the first time. I will admit that I don't always choose the smartest route.
Shouldn't be too tough.
I like his enthusiasm. I'm looking at this going, yeah, right. As we continue to add facilities to the chiral network and complete orders, which in turn earns us likes, receiving a total of 2,400 or more likes for completing orders, we got our next trophy.
I just have to say that you're an absolute
A life well liked. After linking up our fourth facility and learning from our old friend Deadman that after we connected the chiral network across the UCA in Death Stranding 1, something called a plate gate came into existence right near our current location, and it acted as a gateway between Australia and Mexico. This is when I have to tell you to play the first game if you haven't. Kojima is a genius, and both Death Stranding games are as good of a story as any game. Our conversation with Deadman is interrupted when this gigantic BT shows up outside and we get our first real battle. On brutal difficulty, this was an amazing fight and I learned a lot about the combat controls very quickly. Switching between weapons and grenades felt awkward and pulled me out of the combat experience early on. This was partly because I was in way over my head and partly because the equipment and weapons I had this early on were absolutely terrible. And it honestly did not take long in this fight for me to trigger my first void out. Because the void out happened during a main story mission, you have the option to reload your last checkpoint or another save. I tried really hard this time to keep my distance so I didn't get engulfed again. Is it enough? No! It's so close to being dead. We have like nothing. This is where playing on brutal makes a difference. Is probably these fights, like. But it's fun. It's challenging. That's good. Oh no, 0 out of 0. Come on, man. Finding supplies left by other players who had been here before me helped so much. Connections, baby, connections. I didn't pick it up? Oh no. This fight lasted well over 20 minutes on brutal difficulty, but like I said, the combat experience and the controls I learned was invaluable to the rest of the Platinum experience. Oh! Yeah! Resting back at the last facility, we once again get another Deadman pre-recorded holographic message, learning that BB-28, or Lou as we know him, was not BB-28. Rather, it appears that Lou was never logged into the UCA database. Why? Well, that is what we're going to find out. And in our first sad moment, we learn that Deadman has gone to his beach, passed away. But he's left a package for us to take home to Lou. Given the sheer distance we had traveled already, having to return home, I fabricated a tri-cruiser and headed out. Being able to get around faster and carry much more cargo is exactly what a porter like me needed. I continued to collect lost packages and increase my connection levels at each of the facilities I came to. I even connected 2 more locations in Mexico to the chiral network. And as we approached the border, so close to home, a new type of enemy I had never seen showed up. Cornered and in trouble when a sword-wielding robo-samurai showed up and bailed us out, before he disappeared just as quickly. What was that?
What was his deal?
I like the way this guy thinks, man. When we finally make it home, the place is trashed. Lou and Fragile are nowhere in sight. Retracing her footsteps, we find Fragile shot and left for dead. She says that Lou and her were attacked, describing the same red guys we had just fought. She describes trying her best to save Lou, but not being able to. Shattered by this news, Sam sees a BT form of a baby climbing into Lou's old BB pod. Wow, that took a hard turn to the sad. That also completed episode 1, Sam, and we received the trophy. Whoa, can you hear me? Can you see me? After a cutscene showing Sam ending his life over and over. But don't worry, he is a repatriate, meaning that he can never die and he just comes back to life once he is killed. So this is just his way of punishing himself for not being there to save Lou. Rather than leaving us alone, Fragile decides it's a good idea to employ us to go link up Australia to the chiral network. She figures this is a way to heal from the trauma we are reeling in.
It's time for you to hit the road and start.
And I got my next trophy after the cutscene. Time to start a new journey for completing episode 2, Lou. Once aboard the DHV Magellan, we can meet the rest of Fragile's drawbridge crew. But first you'll notice the change of color. That's because we're traveling underground in the tar currents that run beneath the surface. And now the aforementioned crew, we have Tarman, the pilot of the DHV Magellan, and Dollman, whose soul, or Ka as they call it in this game, was trapped inside of, well, a puppet.
My transformation cost me my talents.
Lou, where are you?
Sam, that pod is empty.
With the BB pod and Dollman attached to our suit, we do one last round of deliveries throughout Mexico to increase our connection level a little bit further at all facilities. I had seen signs everywhere, other players requesting different items to be left for them. So I put down one of my own signs, and for constructing an online aid request sign for the first time, we earned the trophy. Promising signs. I put a request down. I wondered why everybody was doing it. I was like, not everybody can need a blood bag that badly. Wanting to progress the story, it was time to head through the plate gate and into Australia. Very quickly, we get our first opportunity to link up this area with our Cupid. Whoa, that map's huge. Linking up this first section allows the DHV Magellan to travel through the tar currents and arrive in Australia as well. It's here that we can finally, well, sort of, meet the patron behind this expedition. Wanting to keep his true identity secret, we get a talking mannequin head named Charlie. And we're forced to give him the voice of our old friend Die Hardman, with the intention of making Sam more comfortable talking to a mannequin.
How about now, Sam? Feeling more at ease already, I'm sure.
Charlie makes it very clear that he is not APAS or the enemy. APAS being the AI technology that is automating many things, including the porter job. Charlie also introduces us to the new president of APAC, which is a privately owned corporation that oversees APAS. The plate gate that we just traveled to appeared in Mexico after the UCA was connected to the chiral network. So everyone believes that connecting Australia will cause another plate gate to appear. The random stuff you can customize. Accepting our next order from the terminal inside of the DHV Magellan, we are tasked with delivering cargo to a local facility called the government's base. We are also introduced to a new skill tree system that this game has. And activating an A-Pass enhancement for the first time, we pop the trophy. Self-improvement. The next section of terrain was just a nightmare for me to try to traverse in my tri-cruiser. I found out the hard way that this area also happened to be riddled with BTs. I guess they liked the chiral energy that the plate gate was giving off. Drive, man, drive! Drive, man! Just kill me.
Are you okay, Sam?
Not wanting to make that mistake again, I hit the ground running and started connecting new people to the network. We can use this to mark the enemies.
Okay.
The watchtower's so good. My next objective was to liberate a facility from the brigands, or Australian bandits. Using a watchtower that someone else had built, I was able to mark the enemies, and this made it so much better to know the force that I could expect. In this case, we had 9 guys to contend with. Death Stranding 2 had a much higher focus on combat than the first one, and I loved it. Pistols, ARs, shotguns, sniper rifles, grenades, or just old-fashioned stealth takedowns. We also had hand-to-hand combat when things went wrong, but I always kept that as a final option. Oh, we can throw that far? It's the Tom Brady of the wasteland. After liberating the facility, we can connect it to the chiral network. And now the game gives us options to take on standard orders. These are like main orders in that you earn a ranking. But unlike main orders, they do not move the story. They do, however, help you improve your connection level with the facility. And if you achieve the highest possible evaluation for a standard order, you will receive one of the following additional evaluations. Depending on the difficulty setting of the playthrough, it's Legend, Legend of Legends, or Legend of Legends of Legends, which is what we are going for on brutal difficulty. There's also different types of standard orders for delivering, retrieving, neutralizing bases, as well as time deliveries. These repeat after a cooldown period, so you can grind them out if you want to improve your connection level. For completing our first standard order, we received the trophy Legend of Legend A Standard Porter. It was time to rebuild, and rebuild I did. First, it was a mine. Mines are awesome because each mine provides us with a specific material, and materials are needed to do everything. Auto-pavers require a lot of chiral crystals, metals, and ceramics to restore. Once you and other gamers have dumped enough resources into an auto-paver, it will build a section of road for you, allowing for faster and safer travel, while no longer draining the battery of the vehicle you are driving. Look what we did. And for restoring one section of road, we earned the trophy Road Restorer. Nice. I spent the next while dumping any materials I had into every auto-paver I saw, building more and more roads. Connecting another facility to the chiral network, our career stats continued to increase. And for reaching a total distance traveled of 80 kilometers, we popped the trophy Long Distance Lugger. On my way to connect the next facility, I got a visit from a familiar foe. And we also had a crazy battle with this giant mech.
Oh, bro. Shotguns is gonna be the way to do this. Oh, man.
Oh boy, that must hurt.
Look at his health.
What a hit. Cliche, but that one's gotta hurt.
Yeah! And after the battle, we were able to connect the facility. Learning that Higgs is back for revenge against Sam and Fragile, the crew of the Magellan look into Higgs while Sam continues his work. It was at this point that we were given the ability to travel back and forth between Mexico and Australia. I went back to see if anything had changed in Mexico and completed a few orders. And for delivering cargo weighing a total of 2 tons, we earned the trophy.
Heavy lifter.
Back in Australia, we find NPC porters wandering around the map. We can give them likes or complete aid requests, which boost our connection level with the local porters group. When I approached the porters hiding under this timefall shelter, one of them offered me some cargo, so I did the same in return. And once the porter picked up my gifted cargo, I was awarded with the trophy.
Hey, porters make the world go round.
Barter with another porter for the first time. Adding the facility Rainbow Valley onto the network pops the trophy.
Hey, help us bring Australia into the network.
Complete episode 3, Drawbridge. Shortly after, we make friends with Rainy. She is the only person in the world that can let the timefall touch her skin. As you saw earlier, timefall ages structures and the living, but not Rainy. The rain comes when she goes outside, and for some reason the rain right around her body heals rather than destroys. Tasked with our first express or timed mission, we must return a missing kangaroo to the animal shelter, and on the way we encounter our first brush fire.
Oh, we're going through it. No, apparently we're not. The whale's in the way. Oh, we're taking some serious damage. We're on fire. We're dead, man. We're dead.
After the mission restarted, I was able to get the kangaroo to the animal shelter with over 24 minutes to spare, and we connected another facility to the network. That is when Rainy shows her true powers and puts out the fire. For receiving a total of 50,000 or more likes when completing orders, I received my next trophy.
A porter at peak popularity.
Once we completed that story mission with the kangaroo, we can start saving wild animals out in the world and bringing them back to the animal shelter. The first wild animal I returned to the shelter was a wombat, and that earned me the trophy.
Much appreciated.
Haha, creature comforter.
Fantastic care of them.
Deliver a wild animal to the animal shelter for the first time. Animals required to complete orders do not count. Connecting the Northern Environmental Observatory to the chiral network got me the trophy. Will show the world the hope in your reign. Complete episode 4, Raindrops. Suddenly the tar currents are thrown into chaos and we go investigate nearby. Being pulled into a strange realm, we see a living girl amongst the endless number of spirits. This episode was all about combat, killing skeleton warriors, this one in particular. And after about 30 minutes of fighting in numerous areas throughout this strange realm, we defeat the mysterious man. For now.
Did he say Nirvana?
Waking up back in Australia, we find the girl from the strange realm encased in some sort of crystalloid shell. And we receive the trophy.
Did he say Nirvana?
Complete episode 5, Conflagration. And we meet tomorrow the girl from the shell. Back to the Porter life, and I spent the next 8 hours doing deliveries, connecting facilities, building roads, monorails, and even bringing mines back online, which allowed me to use the monorail to travel with large amounts of cargo, supplies, and even my vehicle. I had to rescue this guy from an enemy brigand camp.
Combo.
After taking out the last enemy, I was able to package him up for delivery and return him to his friend.
A lot of red on that map.
Connecting the facility to the network, we can allow the guy to get some needed care. Remember his face for later.
Wow.
And while we were out doing all of those things, Tomorrow has run away from the DHV Magellan. As we pursue her, we run into ghost
I'm trying to get
mechs.
the shotgun off. No, dude, run, man. Can you?
Sam, can you hear me? Wake
Can?
up!
Holy.
Getting the unfortunate opportunity to see what close quarter combat was like against them. On a bright side, we also got to see what Tomorrow brings to the table.
You like my hat?
Thank you.
Continuing with more deliveries, I reached maximum connection level of 5 stars with 2 more facilities. During that time, my career stats for total pieces of cargo delivered reached over 500, getting me the trophy.
Compulsive cargo carrier.
For completing the main order with the objective of connecting Hartman's lab to the chiral network, we got to meet up with our old friend and we received the trophy.
To our little family.
Complete episode 6, Chrysalis. Hartman joins our team aboard the DHV Magellan and leaves his research partner to run the lab and of course accept and give out deliveries.
We did it.
When I finally reached the last mine on the western coastline, I restored that and got the trophy.
Hey, rail restorer.
Restore and fully open a monorail line.
And dig, dig, dig.
Restore 3 mines.
Oh, we double down.
We are tasked with shutting down a weapons facility that is able to fabricate items while off the chiral network, something that no one can explain. Luckily for me, I found a great room to hunker down in and fight the guards before Higgs showed up. Higgs plans to use this cord to choke Sam, killing him. Knowing that he is a repatriate, Higgs has designed the cord to continuously keep choking Sam every time he repatriates, putting him in an endless cycle of suffering and death. And that is when our masked samurai ghost mech shows up for an epic battle against Higgs, saving our life and sending Higgs running a few limbs short.
Sorry, Sam. We'll have to have our fun another time.
On my way to turn in the completed mission, I came across a hot springs. And while taking a dip, I ended up getting teleported to Hartman's lab. The hydrologist explains that they use beach water and are all connected, and that is how I was able to teleport. She adds a hot spring digger function to the PCC and tasks me with digging a hot spring. Instead of doing that, I teleported back to the previous one and carried on. Spending hours adding facilities, increasing connection levels, building roads and monorails on the eastern side of the continent. We even had time to take a picture with the girls aboard the Magellan. For connecting East Fort Knot to the chiral network, I got the trophy. Sam, the man in the dark about everything. Complete episode 7, Pod. The Ghost Hunter is a pretty cool inhabitant, and he helps people track down answers to the unexplained. Of course, we're gonna help him. His request on the SSS is regarding people being attacked by headless riders while traveling a certain area at night.
Did you grab extra blood bags?
When we get there, we find this red autopaver. Approaching it on our tri-cruiser, we are pulled into a track of death in the sky. Ghost Rider mechs appear, and it is kill or be killed. Once we eliminate all of the Ghost Riders, we pop the trophy. The Headless Riders Unmasked. Solve the riddle of the Headless Riders. This earns our trust with the Ghost Hunter, and he agrees to join the chiral network. Completing a delivery for the pizza chef, the door to his bunker opens, and inside we fight 2 ghost mechs. In close quarters and on the wrong side of the surprise attack, they bested me. However, the next time I was ready, and this was the perfect time to try out our newly acquired dog mine. Defeating the 2 mechs, we enter the next room and we are attacked by the pizza chef, who is being forced to use his business as a front to smuggle weapons for Higgs. Now that the pizza chef knows we are friendly and he is able to conduct his business normally, we get the trophy.
Thank you again for saving me.
So you're the pizza chef.
Discover the truth about the pizza chef. Along our journey, we are given schematics for grenades that allow us to capture a large BT. While its health is critical, if we throw the grenade into its mouth, we will capture it. And we are awarded with the trophy.
Hey, BT's best friend.
Capture a large BT for the first time. Connecting the fisherman to the network, he briefly mentions the Lord of the Tar Lake, destroyer of Lake Fort Knot, first of his name, last of his kind. Okay, well, maybe he didn't say all that, but we do need to increase his connection level to learn more about the Lord of the Tar Lake. A message popped up on the SSS about tomorrow having a high score in the VR training missions. I thought that this might be a trophy, plus I wanted to show tomorrow that I was the best. So, after finishing the first mission, I popped the trophy.
My first training session.
Complete a VR training program for the first time.
I'm not even damaging it.
Tasked with destroying a mech printing facility that is again off the chiral network, we had an intense battle on our hands, learning that the materials used to manufacture the ghost mechs and the routes that they are transported on are the same ones used by APEC. We now believe that APEC and Higgs might be working together, and we need to watch what we tell the president.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! They're like running bombs. That was kind of cool.
Heading up the snowy mountain, which is a traversal nightmare. The terrain is rough, the visibility is almost always terrible. There are cliffs and rocks everywhere.
I have no idea what's
Somehow we managed to find a new facility where we are told we cannot connect to the chiral network until we help this man find his father who is missing in the mountains. Making our way to the area that he was last known to be, we eventually find him.
Yeah.
Hey, look who it is.
He's the only guy that ever goes on a stretcher.
Returning him to his shelter, we connect the facility and head back to the DHV Magellan, where we receive our next trophy. His name is Neil Vana. Complete Episode 8, Deluge. Learning that the name of the mysterious man was Neil Vana, and that Lou's original serial number was BB00, who was scheduled to be decommissioned, but someone intervened and prevented this from happening, replacing Lou's serial number with BB28 to hide Lou from Bridges. Pushing on, we arrive at the Southern Environmental Observatory, and for turning in the order we had, we pop the trophy.
I don't break that easily.
Complete Episode 9, Puppets. Higgs surprises Sam and attacks him with his crazy chiral consuming fire, causing Sam to die.
Guitar.
When Sam repatriates, his body comes back covered in chiralium. This causes the fire to roar to life again, killing him, causing an endless cycle of pain and torment. Luckily for us, we have friends, and the girls come to save Sam. Once Sam awakens on the Magellan, he comes to the realization that Lou has been dead this entire time. Tasked with traveling to the northern end of the continent to retrieve a package and then return back to the southern side, I decided to beach jump, leaving all of my equipment and beloved truck behind. Doing that saved me half the journey, and after fabricating my truck at Hartman's lab, I used the many roads I had been working so tirelessly to build. I must say that saved me a hell of a lot of time on this episode, and once I made the journey back to my destination, we received the trophy.
You will never, ever be alone.
Complete Episode 10, Isolation. Time for the final battle against Neil Vana, and Sam gets to exact revenge on the man who had an affair with his girl. After learning that Sam is the father of the first BB, and given that Lou's empty pod is actually BB00, we can assume at this point that Sam is, or was, Lou's father. Completing Episode 11, Quake, earns us the trophy. Keep Lou safe. Taking the final package to Terminal Fort Knott, we have to battle a lot of mechs. Just when it seems we are being overwhelmed, our samurai friend shows up. Turns out it is none other than Deadman using his ka to control the ha of another individual from his beach.
Oh, here he is.
As Deadman buys us some time, we are separated and now have to face
Finally
off
get to
against
know
our
who it
giant
actually is.
mech friend one last
Are we
time.
right? It's BB?
Meet again. Good man. Is that really you?
His attacks were much faster and the space to move far more restricted than before.
Yeah, we did it. First try.
After defeating the giant ghost mech, we turn in the package to Terminal Fort Knott, and for completing Episode 12, Fragile, we receive the trophy.
To help you find the strength to carry on.
No rest for the weary as immediately Ghost Mech Higgs shows up once again. But before he could catch Sam off guard, the DHV Magellan raises out of the tar and rips Higgs in half, giving Fragile a chance to exact her own revenge on Higgs.
Sorry, but you are long past your prime.
Chapter 13 was completely mind-blowing for me. The president is AI. APAS is trying to connect the chiral network to keep humanity connected, and therefore remove the need for them to travel. The exact opposite of what Sam and the DHV Magellan crew stand for. We find out that Charlie is actually Die Hardman, and Die Hardman has tricked the AI and APAS into helping him connect humanity so that humans can travel again. This is when Higgs shows up once more, this time in the samurai suit, and we learn that Tomorrow is actually Sam's daughter. I was so confused. I felt this was so crazy and amazing all at the same time. Higgs kidnaps Tomorrow, so we're gonna have to chase him to the beach before he can cause the final stranding and humanity's extinction. Along with so many unanswered questions, I receive the trophy.
To forsake our flesh and our freedom.
Complete episode 13, Die Hard. Armed with Higgs's guitar, we must make our way back to Mexico, as there is a disturbance that is preventing us from using the tar currents to get to the beach. Crossing over the plate gate, we end up in a literal storm. Approaching our objective, we square off against a massive BT. Lucky for me, I was able to use my BT summon that I captured earlier.
What is this, Stranger Things? What's in my way? Oh no, Sam! Yay!
After a quick pit stop back at home, we board the DHV Magellan and head to our private room. This completes episode 14, Last Stranding, and gets us the trophy.
Oh, we have to get Tomorrow back.
Now displaying your current Porter grade.
And at the same time, for achieving a Porter grade of 40 or higher in all categories, we pop the trophy.
Oh, a Premier Porter. Now they're coming fast and furious here.
The entire crew using their Doom's abilities to focus on Fragile and allow her to gain more power so that she can jump the DHV Magellan to the beach. On the beach, we face off against Higgs a couple more times. We learn that Fragile died when she tried to save Lou way back at the beginning of the game, and her body was stuck somewhere between the living and the dead. Using the little time she had left before her body crossed over, she employed Sam and went on the journey to connect Australia to the chiral network, preventing the final stranding and completing episode 15 on the beach. We earn the trophy.
I'll always be with you.
In one last cutscene, we learn that Lou is actually Tomorrow, Sam's daughter, Lou being short for Louise. It's crazy that I probably spent over 200 hours on both Death Stranding games combined, and I thought Lou was a boy up until this point. This completes the main story, and we pop the trophy.
Death can't tear us apart.
Complete episode 16 tomorrow. 73 hours in, the main story completed, and we are back in Australia and ready to clean up the remaining 16 trophies. For connecting the last facility to the chiral network, I earned the trophy.
Keep on connecting.
While continuing to increase the connection level with the adventurer, we had to rescue this guy again. I did enjoy the mask from the upcoming Ghosts of Yotai game. During the Ghost Hunter's final quest, he asks you to assist him in saving Terminal Fort Knott from a massive BT attack. Defeating the BT rewarded me with the trophy.
Savior of Terminal Fort Knott.
Prevent Terminal Fort Knott from falling victim to a void out. And along the way, we had to rescue the adventurer again. Before returning him to his facility, I took him and my nice gold boots out for a skateboard ride on the coffin. Shortly after that, hey, look who it is. This guy is the worst adventurer I have ever seen. Wanting to create one of each structure, I set out to dig a hot spring, which we saw earlier was a request from the hydrologist at Hartman's lab. Finally, finding the correct location and digging a hot spring for the first time, I received the trophy.
So there was
Spring
underground
into
tunnel out
life.
here as well, huh?
While bathing in that hot spring, I had the option to view the stars, and I got the trophy.
Oh, written in the stars. Nice.
Study the night sky for the first time.
This is the life.
Ah, nice.
So many hours into the game, and this was the first time that I had seen the repair symbol on any structure. And for repairing a structure in dire need, I popped the trophy.
Oh, emergency worker.
Deliver emergency support for the first time. With the fisherman finally done his research, he was ready for me to fight the Lord of the Tar Lake. After capturing a specific BT that the Lord feeds on, it was time to lure him out.
Sam, it's coming.
Whoa, shit!
Using our new BT summon to bait the Lord, he showed himself, and it was time for battle.
Good work.
Coming out victorious, I earned the trophy.
Showdown at the Tar Lake.
Defeat the Lord of Tar
Yeah,
Lake.
man.
Much like the Ghost Hunter and the Fisherman, our consistently missing adventurer friend has one final order. We must find the Father yet again. This time he appears to have vanished, but after searching the area he was last known to be at, we are sucked up by a floating BT.
What's that? Let us go.
Thinking I had just caused a void out and would likely have to restart a previous checkpoint. Instead, I was teleported to a new location on the map.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? That wasn't above me before I got out of the vehicle.
What is this place?
And rewarded with the trophy.
The scars left by the giants.
Arrive at the BT Nexus in the F3 crater.
Sam, it's the adventurer.
Over 100 hours of gameplay in, and I finally received the trophy.
Yeah, connecting hearts and minds.
Maximize your connection level with all
5 stars.
facilities.
Every facility.
It was at this point that I finally looked at the trophy list for the first time. Most of the remaining ones I felt I might never have randomly come across. For using photo mode to take a screenshot and then decorating my private room with that screenshot, I earned the trophy.
Making it your own.
Dollman wanted to listen to a certain song, and then talking to him, I popped the trophy.
Wow. A private show.
Watch a live performance in your private room. Out of the near 25 animals that I had rescued, I never once found an albino animal, but when I did, I delivered it to the animal shelter and earned the trophy.
Rare specimen rescuer.
This took me a long time, and I built everything multiple times. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't pop. However, after actually placing a deployable shield down, I got the trophy.
Master Builder. You had to deploy it. No, I read it and it said must deploy the shield and the... There it is right there.
Defeating the golden chiral
There's a
creature
whole bunch of them.
pops the trophy.
Conqueror of the Golden CC. Yeah, there's a whole army of them up there.
Completing 10 deliveries, 10 recoveries, 10 elimination or destruction standard orders with an S rank in casual difficulty or above, and I got the trophy.
Seasoned Porter. There we go.
When you beat the game, you have the option of turning the drawbridge Cupid on or off. Having it off, as I have this entire time, means the enemies will be exactly the same as they were. Enabling the drawbridge Cupid means that the BTs and ghost mechs will be a lot easier to defeat.
The drawbridge Cupid triggering some sort of access restriction? As I recall, it suppresses connections to the other side. Does this mean the occupant is deceased? Perhaps you'll be able to meet them again if you
And are
activate
awarded with the
drawbridge
trophy.
Cupid sound.
The real story of the ghost hunter.
Turns out this dude's been dead the entire time. And we also popped the platinum trophy. Homo Liberans, the savior of humanity. Obtain all Death Stranding 2 trophies. All that I can say is play this game. The story is 100 times better than the way I skimmed over it in this video. To truly do it justice, the video would have had to have been hours upon hours long. I spent 114 hours playing this game, earning my 338th platinum trophy. I know I could have done it a lot faster if I wanted to. Not knowing the trophies ahead of time was the biggest reason for the extra time. However, the experience I had with this game was amazing. I loved every minute of it, and I still sporadically go back and work towards more S ranks on the standard orders. There are over 400 total in this game, and when I finished and got the platinum, I was just over 200. During the end credits, we get a little teaser, a possible hint at Death Stranding 3 with Tomorrow as the main protagonist. That was pretty cool to see, and her abilities would drastically change the gameplay. I honestly hope Kojima makes it a reality. I love this series and the incredible way he tells stories. Thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time, take care, and remember, it's a platinum life.